Whoever it is I need to talk to today, I got a message for you. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle, but I got the sense that there's somebody that has been on your mind, and this is someone who has been haunting you. Someone that you've been trying to seek out a sense of justice or even just proof. Like, there's nothing worse when we're interacting with people. Wow, looking for some hope. There's nothing worse when we're trying to interact with people and we've walked away from them, especially since they really did a lot of harm towards us. However, there's some kind of message that wants to come out today where you've had to move forward from this person and it's been alienating because you may not have had all of the answers in order to figure out if they actually wronged you. I feel like whoever this is going to be for, you know someone did something bad to you and you've had no evidence of it. And well, part of you feels as though you may never get that proof in the 3D. You're still seeking out some semblance of justice. So, if this sounds like your message, you are more than welcome to stick around. If we haven't met yet, my name is High Priestess Berries, psychic, medium, and divine channeler, hoping to bring you a message. Now, always remember, my messages are candid, unscripted. They're also timeless, so please, wow, tap into your instincts. Listen to your intuition. If there is anything that I talk about that doesn't make any sense, totally fine. Do not worry about it. This message may not be for you, but if it does resonate, please let me know by liking and sharing your experience in the comments below. Like, I really feel as though there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that you are not aware of at this time. Like, I feel like you've been really stuck within the past, sleepless nights. And in some ways, have you ever had it where you're in the dark and you start seeing faded images, especially as your third eye is learning how to open up. But then you suddenly see this image, constancy. This is an angel. And there's this sort of awakening that I feel like you could be going through at this time that's trying to wake you up to what it is that you're losing out by being constantly focused by something that is going on within your past. I feel like you are maybe even beating yourself up. There's like a gamble that you not a literal gamble, but it's as though you took a risk on something, took a risk on love, took a risk on having a semblance of happiness, hoping that you could find a sense of family, legacy, and even it's like it's one thing to have like it's one thing to be married and have a spouse, but it's another that you can have a best friend as well. Like there's a bit of a joke about best friends with benefits somewhere in here, but there's some kind of semblance of disappointment because this person that you poured your time, energy, money, love, resources, and skill sets into, they were fake. In a lot of ways, they were pretending to be something that they were not. But I really feel like this person actively hid who it was that they truly were because they were trying to get something out of you. There was some kind of resource that you had that this person needed in order to feel like they could satiate some weird ass obsession. With the card of hope that did fly out when I was doing my initial shuffle, like it's this back and forth where you were just hoping they weren't like this, and they were hoping that you wouldn't see that they were like this. There was a lot of these crossed wires. And a lot of you felt as though, oh, I'll put a little bit into this and see what I can get. But this person kept taking, they kept taking, and they kept taking. Like the thing is, though, even though I see the card of this, like, this very sweet, adorable little baby, like, I got some flowers up here and I got some flowers right here. You really had some long-term plans. They may not have literally have been children, but it's more that you really thought you could grow and cultivate something together. This could also be a business. This could also just be building your own little empire, if you will. But I get the sense that this person deep down inside, like they weren't mature. And it's kind of these things where even though you were interacting with somebody who could have been a legal adult, there is a thing about their energy that deep down inside, they were a child. They were a baby. Maybe they struggled with abandonment issues when they were young. Maybe they had neglectful parents. And this baby looks well cared for. It appears to be well cared for, but where's the parent? there's nobody there watching this child. And it's as though this person that you've been dealing with was in our in like in my generation, like later millennial and then the Gen Xers, there's always this thing about the latchkey kids, kids who basically came home, they lived mostly unsupervised while parents might have worked crazy hours and they really just had to learn how to take care of themselves. But this is a little bit more devious in the sense that there's like an infant that is abandoned in their own crib just because it was too much energy for this parent. You know, whoever this person is, there's somebody that, wow, and I keep losing my voice. Hmm, little sip of my coffee this morning. I'm feeling like really buzzed. It's not from the caffeine, but it's as though this baby was just too much effort for the parent. And it's like, oh my God, I've done everything I want to do for you today. Now I'm going to do something for myself. This is a very selfish parent. And when you came along, like you actually did have this lovely quality, this feeling like you have the sense of nurturance. You're full of emotions. In a lot of ways, you were way more anchored in than as who this other person was. And there's this thing where's the justice in that? This person is ignorant. I hate to use the word, but they are technically kind of stupid. But they really had a lot of blind spots within their own reality. And rather than taking the time to properly heal in order to properly find a semblance of balance and justice, they pretended to be something that they weren't. And you suffered a lot of loss. I'm going to get some cards here. Let's dive in and see if we can get you some guidance on, first of all, we got, got our Four of Cups. That's some supreme disappointment with this person. I want to have a look at the biggest challenge you could be facing right now, but I also want to have a look at what is the blockage, because your guides and ancestors really want you to forgive this person. But don't forget, there's this lie that people tell themselves where they think that they have to constantly live in the past and constantly live in an energy of loss because they're afraid that if they forget the loss, they'll repeat the same mistake again. And the origin of that logic is, how do I phrase this? It's like you're not wrong by thinking that, but you're living in the energy. I'm joking about my body feels buzzed right now, but my body is feeling buzzed because it's holding on to trauma. Like you're holding on to trauma. You're holding on to this person's energy. You're holding on to thinking that if I just keep them around within arm's length, like I'll keep pushing them away if they're not showing up correctly, which, good for you. You are supposed to do that, but you're still hoping that they'll show up as a changed person. And the problem is this person, at wherever it is that they are at the moment that I'm tuned into their energy, they don't want to change. They have no desire to change. They actually don't even have the resources to know that they have to change. This person, there's a little bit of change their diaper. This person was extraordinarily neglected, and them to even understand basic manners on what it means to be hurtful towards someone else. This is a young soul. They actually have no sense of ownership. They're very dependent on having a motherly figure in their midst. Like the universe is like, please forgive this person. They don't know what it is that they do. But I like that we do have the lovers underneath here. Like, don't get me wrong. The judge is here as well. A judgment has been made against this person, especially if they were a genuine lover. But, the lovers doesn't always have to be about sexuality. This could be the draw. This is the pull. Like, the lovers and the devil do have a lot in common. And remember I was saying earlier, it's like, no, I'm going to keep this person pushed away. I want to make sure that they won't come in with their bullshit and trick me again, which again, good for you. That is important to have the boundary, but you're still pulling on their energy. It's like, so are you going to forget? Like, are you going to, apologize? Are you going to try and confess what's going on? Like, this is getting a little bit more kinky than it is healing. What's underneath there? Two of Cups. Like, you are causing the delay. I'm sorry to say that. Like, you're subconsciously causing the delay of your healing. Not this person's healing. This person Like, at this point, there's nothing around them that will be able to heal them. They're actually stuck in their own mental prison at this time. Like, this person is living it up. They act as though they have a lot of money, and they're still treating other people the same way that they treated you. Nothing has changed over there, and they keep gambling away their life. Like, on the surface, though, they could have the nicest house. They could have like a bathroom that's bigger than your own fucking apartment for all you care. But this person has not changed. But there is justice available to you because there is something going on within this person's subconscious, but it requires you just to release them and let him go and just accept that this is who it is that they are. Because a few of you popped up and said, I don't care about this person, but yet you still are magnetized to these messages. So you got to ask yourself, why do I keep looking for these messages? Because messages find you because, oh, wow, we got temperance, because of that lover's energy. You're pulling on something and your guides are trying to get a hold of you to let you know that you actually haven't let go of the situation and you need to forgive because this is about your peace. This is about your sense of inner balance. What's underneath here? Nine of Swords. You are not going to find your own peace until you declare peace. But a few of you, I think, are struggling with, I don't want this person to ever feel peace ever again for all the shit that they did to me. But how does any of that benefit you if you're still living in dysfunction? Because you holding on to this person and holding them, like saying they have to apologize to me. They better come back to me and they better apologize to me. But this needs to be done. Like, you have a lot of angelic energy around you that's giving you a lot of, subtle pokes to say, girl, it's time to let go. It's time to just let this person be who it is that they are. Just because on the physical, it looks like everything is fine, it doesn't mean that their mind is not an emotional prison. This person right here, this is how they live every single day. They're just really good at putting on a show. And if you're feeling the turmoil inwardly, they're feeling the turmoil inwardly. But why are you choosing to live in their sin? Interesting. So what do we have right here? We got Five of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. I do love that this energy's gotten a little bit golden. 10 of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. I like this. I really like this. You're being guided at this time to just acknowledge that, yeah, this person did leave you out in the cold, but you need to lock this up. You need to put it behind you. There's a lot going on in the world right now that's kicking up a lot of people's fears, and it's making people feel unsafe, uncertain, insecure. And if you're picking this up, say, from the news or from the media, from advertisements, but you yourself are feeling at peace, but other people are feeling the turmoil, that's your indication to let you know that this person who hurt you, that's how they feel. Like, if this is somebody who, they decided to be racist against you, but you keep coming across stories and messages about racism and harm and hate speech and listening to stories about people who live in fear for their lives, that's that person's energy. Even on the surface, even if they're like a fucking white supremacist, I hate to say that, fuck me. But, even if they're a fucking white supremacist, it's one of these feelings where they're constantly living in fear because of their race. Like, don't allow the surface to fool you. You're divine. You're a divine feminine. You're supposed to be reading the energy that cannot be seen within the 3D, but you're not supposed to embody it. You're just supposed to acknowledge it. On the surface, that person could be full of hatred and spite and greed and using, they used you, they used children, they used their colleagues, they use everybody, like, their family. Like, this is a very dysfunctional person that I'm tapped into right now. This is someone you do not want in your reality. Can you believe that this person does feel like this Five of Pentacles? This person feels this way all of the time. Just because they can put on a show that everything is happy, it's just a show. This person is being tortured by their demons, and they don't want anybody to watch. And in some ways, why would you want to watch that? Why are you trying to go out of your way to watch this person be tortured? Like, this is a very dark message, but for those of you who haven't yet, there was a recently channeled message for the divine feminine about there are dark energies around us all to test us in order to figure out what it is that we are willing to release and what it is we're willing to move forward towards. Because your blockage right now is the Nine of Cups. This is about you finding your semblance of happiness because you can't get to the 10 Cups. You can't find the ideal partner. You can't find the ultimate lover that's going to match your, I'm going to say dating profile, but I'm not being super literal about that. But finding the love of your life that's just going to match your personality where, yeah, you got your idiosyncrasies, but part of the fun is learning the contrast. Because you have somebody new incoming, somebody who's going to match your feminine energy, somebody that you'll be able to speak with each other, even if you're physically different. You know that you have a lovely sub language where you guys can harmonize, where you guys can get along, where you guys can also discover your own sense of balance and temperance. But you need to work on things that you want to do. This past person, it wouldn't surprise me that they led you down a path to try things that were outside of your comfort zone and you indulged it. But then what became sort of an interesting low-key indulgence turned into something that snowballed completely out of control. And you didn't even realize you changed yourself so much in order to appease this person. You've lost yourself in the process. You need to find your identity again. You need to remember what kind of things you were interested in. What were your goals? What were your dreams before this person ever met your life? Before this energy met your life? Because this doesn't have to be one person. This could be a personality archetype that you keep falling for. The universe is trying to give you the keys so that you can get out of it, so that you're not stuck in your own mental prison. Like this other person, they're in mental jail for as long as it takes for them to burn out their karma. And this could take multiple lifetimes. But here's the thing. You've been released. You don't have to stay in prison. You are welcome to leave whenever the hell you want. So why are you not walking out and looking for what it is you truly want within reality? Like you are opening yourself up to a timeline where you can actually have fulfillment, have the kids. And if it's not kids, like working on projects, working towards your soul calling, helping children. Like there's a lot of childlike energy that I have going on right here. Like you were drawn towards this person in the first place, the wounded inner child, children who were raised by neglectful parents, like being able to work with people like that, that is a fucking calling. But it's got to be something that you want to do, not what they want you to do, what you want to do. Because if you're able to do that, you're going to be able to start working on projects that fulfill you. Working on it's like your own little gig economy, start your own candle making business, start working on your own witchcraft, start documenting everything that's going on, practice plant medicine. Like there's something that you've always wanted to work on and you were held back by this energy because this person only saw a limited version of you, but you're being asked to look at the infinite version of you. Damn. So what is it that whoever the viewer is, wherever they are at, what is one final message? Got the observer. What's one final message that I can gift to the viewer so that they can just feel comfortable knowing it's okay to forgive? It's okay to move forward, that justice is divine. Whoever this person is, just know they're stuck in their own mental prison. They're really good at pretending that everything is fine, but it's just an act. You're being asked to be happy, not pretend to be happy. You're asking to be free, not pretending to be free. The universe wants you to know that you have the keys to happiness and it's ready and available to you. Wow, this message is just looping back over and over again. You have a unique quality. You have a unique gift. You've been given everything that you need in order to move forward. There's something so subversive and divine about who it is that you are, that people like this will never be able to touch you ever again. Just ensure that you are working towards authentic happiness, authentic sense of love, and authentic compassion, and you'll be able to kick this motherfucker back to the curb. I'm just saying. Wow. Well, whoever it is that you are, damn, I sincerely hope that this helped. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you found this helpful, please make sure to like the video, share this with a friend, and otherwise, when I see you guys at the next one, I'm wishing you peace, love, and all the berries.